What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to week 2 of the UNPL Spring Fling. This week we take on Kingler, the coach of the Hyde Park Hippos, and we are in for a very difficult matchup as we take on one of the most insane Terra captains that for some reason we allowed this season. But before we jump into that, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure to share the video with your friends and click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. So as you can see, Kingler has put together a very threatening looking team here with the combination of Haxorus on the offensive side and Wo-Chen on the defensive side. This is a very difficult team to deal with. Tinkaton, of course, yet another snipe. Kingler sniped me 3 times during our draft. Haxorus, Tinkaton, and Donphan. Speaking of Donphan, best spinner in the format, which is really great. And then, of course, we've got the Psychic Terrain support for Hawlucha. Terra Vileplume can be kind of interesting as well. And then Chandelure for some immediate special breaking. Really cool team. Really powerful team. And honestly, I don't know how I'm going to deal with Wo-Chen. Wo-Chen is a really powerful threat, and I don't know why we ended up allowing it to Terra. It ended up there and then just never got changed back. Yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself now that I have to go up against it, but we're going to try to find some way to deal with it. So let's see what I brought this week. Starting off, a mon that it was kind of surprising that it did not come last week, but this week we're bringing it. Iron JUGULIS coming off the bench. Our main pick, our round 1 pick, we left off week 1, but here it is in week 2. We are running Choice Scarf this week because we do not want to waste any kind of booster energy, and I think that the ability to pivot around and not be tied down to booster is really going to be effective in this case. My opponent's only flying resist is going to be that Tinkaton, and so if we can get that Tinkaton out of here early, then we're going to be in a really good spot. Flamethrower does allow us to hit that, which is really nice. And then, of course, Dark Pulse gives us really nice coverage otherwise, and pivoting with the U-turn. We are, of course, able to outspeed pretty much everything on his team, and even most of his Scarfers, just because our team is pretty fast in comparison to his. Next up, we have Inteleon, which actually does outspeed his entire team naturally, and so we are running Specs this week just for that extra little bit of power. Yes, we are timid, but we do need that in order to outrun the Hawlucha, and so we've got Snipe Shot, Ice Beam, and Air Cutter. That just hits pretty much everything on the team there, and of course the U-turn for additional pivoting. Next up, we have Klefki, and we actually are carrying Lagging Tail without Trick this week, just because I really think that Indeedee Male into us is really strong. My opponent does have access to both of them, so it could be female, I guess, but male seems really good with things like Trick Scarf, so that could be really powerful, and that would be a really nice way of shutting down this Klefki. So I brought Lagging Tail to punish that. And so we've also got Iron Defense, Calm Mind, Flash Cannon, and Draining Kiss. The Calm Mind plus Flash Cannon is there for a possible Terra Fairy Wo-Chen. Otherwise, this gets walled pretty hard, so that could be a little tough. But this thing can do work. This thing can absolutely do work. I'm excited to see if bulky Klefki can get in there and do some work. So really fun things there. Next up, we have Raichu, and this is a very cool Raichu set. Now, originally my Klefki actually also had Misty Terrain, but I changed that, and so we're actually just running Electric Terrain manually with Terrain Extender, and this is going to allow Iron JUGULIS to be in a much better position. Again, firing off those hurricanes, it's gonna do a lot of damage, and I'm really looking forward to that. So really cool stuff there. It also is going to get rid of existing Psychic Terrain, which is nice, so that way we can disrupt a possible Hawlucha getting a Psychic Seed, which could be really good. And then, of course, we've got Terra Flying Terra Blast. Flying, again, hits pretty much the entire team, so I think that works. And then we've got Surf and Volt Switch in order to get in one of our other threats. Another new mon coming off the bench is Araquanid. My opponent doesn't have the best switch-ins for Araquanid. I almost went with Choice Band, but I think going with a Sticky Web set is just going to be a little bit better. My opponent is a little bit limited in removal. Blastoise is the best form, but I don't know if Donphan has the best matchup into me, so it may or may not come. Obviously, Inteleon can deal with it pretty good. Raichu can deal with it with Surf. Araquanid obviously deals with it with water moves. So yeah, it's got a kind of rough matchup in that way, so it may or may not even come. So we'll just have to see. But either way, this thing is really, really good. We've got Chilling Water for the possible Haxorus switch in, which is nice. And then, of course, Sticky Web to slow down the entire team. And finally, Okie Dokie. Okie Dokie basically has to come. This thing is super cool. Running Toxic Chain this week with max HP, max attack with Bulk Up. Bulk Up, of course, is going to be one of our best moves that we can run in order to keep ourselves bulky and hitting hard, which is great. We've got High Horsepower, Drain Punch, and Knock Off. I was super close to not bringing Knock Off here and bringing Poison Move instead for possible Terra, Wo-Chen being Fairy, but I ended up running Knock Off instead to possibly catch an Indeedee switch in, and that could deal a bunch of damage. But I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up, and not having a Poison Move may end up costing me. We will just have to see once we get into the match. But that is our team for this week. I hope you all are looking forward to this match. I know that I am, so let's go ahead and find Kingler and jump into it. All right, here we go, and we see pretty much what we expected. Chandelure, I wasn't really expecting all that much, just because Jug has a pretty good matchup into it. We've got the Inteleon, no Hawlucha, so, and it's Indeedee female. I really thought Indeedee male would be better here, but maybe he's got something up his sleeve that I don't know about. But okay, I mean, it's a different team than what I was expecting for sure. Indeedee female is going to be very bulky. Tinkaton was always going to come because that thing is really good. It walls my team super hard. Haxorus is great, and then of course the Blastoise. So I would imagine we get either a lead Tinkaton or a lead Indeedee. I'm more inclined to say that it is Tinkaton going for its hazards, just because he can see that I have no removal. I'm honestly tempted to lead Klefki and just go from there, or I could just lead Dogi. Let's go Dogi, actually. I might end up regretting this because I think, I don't know, Klefki could have been better there, just because it usually can't really touch me all that much, just because then I can set like Iron Defense and that kind of thing. I can bluff that we're gonna trade spikes, and then I start setting some things up, and that could be pretty threatening. Yeah, it is this. Okay. I mean, in fairness, I can just kind of bulk up in its face at the same time, you know? It is Mold Breaker. Okay, that's good to know. But I assume that this is like a Rocks variant. I mean, I don't know what else it would be in this case. So, I mean, what do you have that really threatens this once I get set up? There's not a whole lot, you know? I'm just gonna bulk up turn one on the Rocks. Yeah. So he sees that we don't really have any speed, which is fine. But this doesn't really have a whole lot that it wants to do to me. So I'm just gonna turn one bulk up. I'll just get to +1. I might as well, you know? I might as well. And then I'm gonna click the High Horsepower on turn 2. T-Wave, that's fine. I don't have any speed on this thing, and I'd rather be that than burned. So that's honestly fine. So +1, High Horsepower. It just goes okay. Okay, I did not expect that to just go down. Oh my god. Tink just goes down. Okay. We will take it. All right, that's fine. And now we get to switch out into something that is better, because I definitely don't want to take a psychic move on this. I can go into Araquanid pretty freely, and this should be just fine. But man, that is not at all how I thought that was gonna go. Really good though. That opens up Jugulis a lot, because that was his only flying resistance, was that. So yeah, Jugulis is looking really good in the end game now. So that's really helpful. Okay, so we can take pretty much anything he wants to go for. Okay, light screen, that's fine. Are you going for Shell Smash shenanigans? Is that what's happening here? Or like set up with Haxorus? Could be. Could be going Blastoise here. Dipsy, is that Blastoise? Yeah, that's Blastoise. So, I mean, that's here for spin, obviously. But this doesn't really have anything to touch me. I'm just gonna Leech Life, get some of my health back. Yeah, there's the spin, which is fine. We get some free damage off on this. And in fairness, we could just kind of spam webs. Oh, that's crit. Okay, I was like, that's good damage. That's really good damage. And we get almost all of the rocks damage back, which is good. I'm just gonna webs again. Yeah, he flip turns out, that's fine. I'll just webs again, and you'll have to spin those away later. So that's totally fine. Okay, I mean, this isn't the worst start. New. I don't know what that is. Haxorus, okay. Why is he so little? Or why is Araquanid so huge? One of the two. Because Haxorus is so tiny. I don't know why. But this thing is a huge threat, obviously. This thing is a huge threat. If he is Jolly Choice Banded, Outrage just KOs. Which could be a problem. Could definitely be a problem. Chilling Water is an option, though. Neither of my other moves do a whole lot of work. They don't really do as much damage. The thing is, what is my realistic switch here, right? Because, I mean, yes, you could click the dragon move, right? That is pretty obvious, I feel like. I'm gonna click Chilling Water, just to see what he wants to go for. It is the Scale Shot variant. Will this KO me? I think there's a chance I live. Yep, we get the 4 times. So he's -1 defense, +1 speed, -1 attack. So that's gonna hurt him a lot. So that helps. So that move was not free. That was not free at all. So yeah, you are faster, but you're not hitting nearly as hard, which is honestly fine. So I'm okay with that trade, to be honest. Do you dare stay in and go again? Go for that again? Because I could just as easily go into this. Yeah, I could go into this pretty freely, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna swap into this. He does stay in because he's definitely faster. He may go for another Scale Shot. Going for Earthquake doesn't really make sense here. So, yeah, we take rocks, that's fine. He SDs, so he's at +1 rather than... yeah, he's at +1. I'm assuming you are loaded dice. So if you're not choice banded and you're at +1, Earthquake does not kill if I'm at +2, but I also just kind of go down in that case. This is a tough one. Haxorus is in a really good spot, I will say. Haxorus is in a really good spot here. Inteleon still outspeeds, or no, this still outspeeds. So we do have some way of dealing damage here. It's just a matter of if I want Klefki to go down here. Let's go Araquanid, sack that, and oh man, this is tough. I may have put myself in a really bad position. He can't Scale Shot here. We're gonna go down to rocks, so that way he can't Scale Shot. He can't possibly predict that and Scale Shot. He does reveal the EQ. So he's just the standard scale SD EQ, just the normal set that everybody runs. So how much is Jugs doing? It's not killing at this range. Jugs is not killing at this range. I could go Raichu, force him into... Because, I mean, he can just as easily click the dragon move here, right? This is a rough spot. This is a really rough spot. Dogi after rocks. It has a chance to KO me. It has a chance. I feel like I've got to go for it. It's in my favor. It's in my favor after rocks to live this, and this will put it in jug range. Yeah, this will put it in jug range if I can live this hit. He did not fear the Shuka. I came so close to being Shuka. We get the chance. Let's go. Okie dokie. Yes. Oh my God. Okie dokie. Getting us out of a huge jam. Oh my God. I know that thing got the thumbnail week 1, but holy crap, this thing is insane. This thing is insane. Oh boy, because that was almost a disaster. That was almost a huge disaster. But the fact that it lived that, it was a 30% chance to KO after rocks, and we got the chance. So Okie dokie is just putting in so much work already. It's been 2 weeks, and Dogi is just taking souls. This is ridiculous. It should not, or well, I guess we got some health back too, which is good. So Dogi's right back in this. We took all that damage, but then Drain Punch is a thing. So yeah, man, this is insane. Drain Punch. Oh yeah, because he was -1 defense from Scale Shot. That absolutely mattered. That absolutely mattered. And even then, that wasn't an Oko. Yeah, that was not an Oko. 31% chance. I also had a 31% chance to Oko with Drain Punch. It was the same chance. So that's crazy. Okay, so this thing is a bit of a problem. It's going to be Terra Fairy, but I don't actually have a poison move. I haven't shown knockoff, so he doesn't know that, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna click Drain Punch. I mean, it's kind of wild, right? Because if I just had the poison move, then this just gets 2-shot most likely. So that's a little interesting. But I need to gauge out what set this is, because this is really the only thing that's standing in Klefki's way. It does have knock, which is fine, honestly, because my black belt has done its work. Okay, are you lefties? I would like to know that. You are not lefties. Then what are you? Then what are you? I'm gonna bulk up. Yeah, I was like, this isn't a check, right? If I had had a poison move, that would have just been it, right? Okay, fair enough. If I double-clicked knockoff, that would have been crazy, but I did not, which is fine. So because Wochin is not lefties, I'm honestly tempted on going into Klefki now and just kind of doing my thing. I think that's the play, possibly. I don't know. I feel like the Wochin set needed to be lefties, but this Klefki set could end up putting in some work. Psychic, that's not going to do much. Yeah, that doesn't do much. I'm going to call Mind. I'm going to call Mind here. Haxorus is gone. Haxorus was his only physical mon. Yeah, Haxorus was his only physical mon. And if you want to come in and try to trick a Scarf onto me, then you're going to get a Lagging Tail, which could be really bad for you. So I am +1/+1 into a Chandelure. Flash Cannon does like a quarter. Fire Blast still KOs if he specs. He has to be specs to KO me here. I honestly think that this being the item fodder is the play, to be honest with you. I think that this getting a Scarf would be the play, or I could just sack Dogi. I could also just sack Dogi. It is right there. And then I have free Inteleon. Yeah, let's do that. I can just sack Dogi, and then I just go Inteleon for free. You've got webs going on, so you're always guaranteed slower regardless, so I'm not worried about that. If you trick, you know, it's flamethrower. Oh, well, I lived that anyway, but oh well. I wasn't doing that much. But Dogi goes down. Dogi did work. I don't care. Dogi did work. We take those. So, yeah, now we just go into this. And, yeah, I mean, Blastoise is your switch, I suppose. But, I mean, because you're locked into Flamethrower, you know? So I think I can U-turn into Raichu, right? Yeah, I think I just U-turn into Raichu. Yeah. Because you go into Blastoise here. That's Wo-Chien, but that's fine. That should be fine. Because, yeah, we U-turn out on that, which is fine. So, let's see here. Wo-Chien. This is the live Wo-Chien reaction right now. How much are we doing with Jugulis if this is Terra Fairy? Not much. This thing is pretty threatening, honestly. But I don't know if... This might be my setup fodder, to be honest. Since he doesn't have... Yeah, I mean, he has knockoff. That's all we've seen. But I've got Draining Kiss. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go Bucky. And we're gonna see what we can do here. I mean, he might just double right back into... he could double right back into Chandelure. If I called that, that would be pretty crazy. Tell you what, I'm going to pull this double and go Raichu. He didn't do it. he didn't do it. I guess he just went for knockoff. Which this is going to kind of give away my strat, but I mean, that's fine. Yeah, he's just Leech Seed. But I mean, I can just Volt Switch out then. And get rid of the seeds. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to Terra yet. Just because then that makes me weak to rocks. So we're just going to Volt Switch out. Just keep this thing chipped. Just a little bit of chip. Just a little bit of chip. That's all we need to do. Just keep chipping things down. But, I mean, if I can get set up enough, then this thing is no longer a check, you know? There's the knock, which is fine. I'm not really worried about that. Do we just set up on this? It seems like he's going to let me do it. Yeah, it seems like he's going to let me do it. So I'm just going to start setting up. And then I've got Draining Kiss. I'm faster because the lagging tail's gone. Which is nice. Leech Seed, which is fine. I can get that health back with Draining Kiss. I mean, this thing's not really doing any damage to me. You know? I'll go ahead and Draining Kiss here just to get a little bit back. Although, how much does Flash Cannon do? In case he's feeling... frisky. Flash Cannon does like half if he's physically defensive. I'm a Flash Cannon here. Get some chip. He's pretty specially bulky, I think. Body Press does not KO, but I believe the seeds will. But that gets him pretty low, which is honestly good. It's honestly fine. So he's just above half now. Yeah, I'm really going to struggle to break this. That's the only thing. Snipe Shot might two-shot here, though. I think Snipe Shot might be a 2-shot at this point. So I think I go into this and click Snipe Shot, because that's dealing the most damage. He could go Blastoise if he wants to, but I U-turned last time, and so he may feel inclined to stay in. This is tough. Wo-Chien was always going to be the biggest issue, just because I have a lot of problems breaking it. In fairness, it's just hard to break in general when it loses its really bad typing. So that's kind of a tough one. But the thing is, though, Blastoise comes in, but it really doesn't do anything. And with it being with the screens and everything... Okay, that's good damage. Just sets seed, which is fine. This should still be a 2-shot, I think. Or at least there's a chance. I think there's a shot. Although I think he goes hard Blastoise. I think I have to swap. I have to make sure that Inteleon's still around. The webs are really nice because that does keep everything down, but Blastoise in the back can be a bit of a pain. It can definitely be a problem. So if I can get this right on him switching into Blastoise to try to take the Snipe Shot, then we could be in a better position. And that keeps Inteleon a little more healthy. Not that it necessarily needs it, but this could work out a little bit better. All right, Raichu, do you go Blastoise here? Predicting my switch? You do switch. All right. Yep, into this. What do you have left? I'm an Electric Terrain. Yep, I'm an Electric Terrain. Lala, is that the Indeedee? It is. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Because we immediately get rid of your Psychic Surge. Get that out of here. Okay, that's huge. That's really, really nice. We will take those. We will absolutely take those. And now I Volt Switch. That's awesome. So that pretty much forces this thing out and forces something to take a Volt Switch. And now my Jugulis is looking a lot better because now my damage output is so much higher, which is great. As long as I can hit Hurricanes. It's kind of the big thing. Okay, get some chip on that. That's good chip. That is good chip. I think we go Juggy here. There's no way you brought manual terrain this week. And there's no way you call this switch. There's no way. Psychic, yes, okay. Okay, alright. I think Hurricane is the play. As risky as it is. I think that's what we click. We hit one. This shouldn't survive that, I don't think. Are you healing? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. That's so annoying. That it lived on like one. Yeah, and then you go back into this. Oh, that's super annoying. That's super annoying. I think I have to stay in though, since I have the boost. Since I have the boost, I think I have to stay in and go for it. It's really going to come down to accuracy, which really sucks. Getting the terrain call was so nice, but man, we get it, we hit it. It's not a 2-shot. He does have enough bulk there. So we've got knockoff, we've got leech seed. Is that all we've seen? I feel like it is, which is annoying. Oh man, this thing is such a pain in the butt. This thing is so stupid. This thing is so stupid. There's just no way to break this thing when it's fairy. And the thing is, he went into this on Dogi. If I had a poison move, which I did up until the last second, because if I was just dual stab plus the dual stab plus high horsepower, he was cooked. And he went into it anyway. That play was wild to me, that he was so confident about that. Body press, okay. I need to get some chip on this. Terra Blast does the most. Might as well go for that. Man, if I'd been like Terra Poison or something, that'd been crazy. But I'm not. We are Terra Flying this week because we need the OG Pikachu coming back. And then I evolved it, I guess. But yeah, here's Terra Blast. Not gonna do much, but yeah, that does 0. Oh my god. This thing is so stupid. This thing is so stupid. There's just no way to break this thing. It's just insane. The Healing Wish is really just the craziest thing. I died of rocks here. So I have to click Terra Blast again. Yeah, he just goes for Leech. Because if he KOs me there, then he doesn't get his Leech recovery back. So, I get that. Okay. Then I have to go Inteleon here, I guess. Oh, this Mon is so stupid. This Mon is so stupid. That's all I can say. This Mon is stupid. Yeah, I just click Snipe Shot and cry, I guess. That wasn't a crit, and he misses the Leech Seed. Well, that's interesting. I'm clicking it again. We stay in this time. Okay, Wo-Chen's gone. Wo-Chen's gone. We finally get rid of that stupid thing. Inteleon gets a KO. But I don't know if I have enough pieces left, because now he can just go Blastoise. Yeah, Dipsy. I have to stay in here, right? I have to stay in and then go for Dark Pulse. Well, hang on. There's still a way we can do this if we go for Dark Pulse here. I have to stay in and click Snipe Shot. That does 0. Rapid spins, but Jugulis is still scarfed. So we're still going to outspeed the Chandelure even if he's scarfed. So that's fine. That may be what he's counting on, is my Jugulis not being scarfed. Because otherwise he does outspeed. He can't switch. He has to let this take the hit. I can't switch. I have to let him take this down. Yeah, I have to stay in. That almost KOs. He just spins again. It's a little dangerous. Depending on what his spread is. Do you outspeed a Scarfed? I don't know if you even outspeed Scarf, just because Jug is just so fast. Yeah, goes for Surf. Does KO. This is going to be a little tricky in the end game here. But I have to lock into Dark Pulse. I have to lock into Dark Pulse and just kind of hope. That's basically... Okay, we are faster than +2. That is out of here. Come on, Jug. Take us home here. Take us home, Jug. I honestly don't know if we can KO the Chandelure, though, in one hit. If he's no bulk, it should be guaranteed, actually. And we're scarfed, so we should outspeed. Even if he's scarfed. We're near max. We have a lot of speed. We do outspeed. And he's not sash or anything, and we take the narrow 1-0 victory. Oh my god, that one came down to the wire. That was ridiculous. That Wo-Chin can burn. That was awful. I hated facing that thing, but somehow we found a way to turn that around, and my goodness. I think, honestly, if he had... I think he overpredicted there at the end, expecting me to predict his switch again. And when going into Blastoise, and by throwing the Wo-Chin away there at the end, that kind of sealed his fate, because once I had Chip on Blastoise, I think Jug was just kind of free. Scarf Jugulis putting in all of the work there, so I'm pumped. The team is working. That was a really tough one, but we found a way to push through, and we absolutely will take those. So thank you all so much for watching. Awesome game. I am looking forward to next week as well, when we face our rival of sorts, Grum, with the Orthworm. So I'm looking forward to that. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss that. And until next time, stay safe out there, stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.